Good afternoon. This button in the bottom right-hand corner, chat button, has been synonymous with customer support. For example, how to update contact information. But let me ask you, how do you compel your clients to act? At Unblu, we understand that the financial buying process is complex and requires definitive points in the transaction where your clients are going to benefit from human-to-human interaction.
That's right. With Unblu, we not only embed digital human advice in your internet banking and in your mobile banking, but with Unblu 7 and the innovation that we're excited to showcase here today, we can be even more precise and embed it at very specific points in your customer journey when it can be most impactful. Let's see how it looks in the demo. So this is an online banking application, similar, I'm sure, to many of your own. Our user today is logged in, so it's an authenticated session. And while we support many different customer journeys, our visitor today is interested in obtaining a mortgage. He visits various pages in the online banking, eventually reaching a section that asks him to describe the property that he's looking to purchase. It's at the moment we click the Find a Mortgage button that we reach one of those really critical junctures in the customer journey. If we look, there's 17 different mortgages that have been found. They have different rates, they have different terms. This is absolutely a point in time in which this customer would substantially benefit from some human advice. It's also a point in time in which they're at risk of abandonment, right? They could be overwhelmed or they could be confused by all of the choices. So how does Unblu embed digital engagement right at this very place? First, if we expand the details of an individual mortgage, we can see right in line with the particulars is a clear call to action, chat with us. Furthermore, on the right-hand side of the screen, there's two additional prominent options. I can schedule a meeting, talk about this mortgage with an advisor at my own convenience, or start a conversation now.
This has allowed our customers to conduct simple A/B tests, to be able to see when and where in each specific customer journey the client's going to benefit from human interaction. In this example, would they benefit more from chat, a pre-scheduled meeting, or an impromptu conversation?
At the end of the day, customers are unpredictable, right? The more that we test, the more we can observe, the more that we can refine where and how digital engagement augments our customer journeys. Let's continue with the demonstration and click on the Start a Conversation option. You'll see right in the online banking application, an engagement begins. And we can immediately request to have a voice and video conversation with the advisor, who will join us momentarily. Now, I'd really like to stress that this is happening all inside the online banking application, okay? The customer did not need to download, open some other application, maybe a third-party web meeting tool that your IT department invested in during the course of the pandemic for some other purpose. You know, this tool doesn't look like the online banking. It certainly isn't behind the online banking authentication, right? This entire engagement is happening inside your internet banking behind its security, okay? In addition to the voice and video capabilities that are available to the advisor to talk the client through the different mortgage options, we also have a host of collaborative capabilities like co-browsing, where the advisor can see and interact with the customer's page in real time. At the end of the day, providing them with the kind of toolkit that allows them to essentially assist the customer in their decision-making and usher them forward into the next stage of a complex buying process.
Now, we also understand that sometimes the complex buying cycle will require more than just a one-time conversation, a conversation that would persist across maybe a few more conversations. Now, even if one person is not present, Unblu has the ability to have that conversation between your employee and the customer and have that continue.
So in the example that we just concluded, we saw how Unblu could be embedded into a very specific customer journey at a very specific point in time. Unblu can also be implemented into your internet banking and mobile banking in a way that supports all of your customer journeys at any point in time. So let's assume the very short vignette that we just showed a moment ago concluded. The advisor and the customer went their own ways, and perhaps a day or two later, the customer receives a notification on their device. You have a message waiting for you in your online banking, okay? They can return to the online banking, authenticate, and in this particular environment, we have a link called Mailbox. It could be called Conversations, it could be called Engagements, however you like to label it. But when you open it, it provides the customer with access to all of the previous engagements they've had with this financial institution by way of Unblu. okay? And like Chris mentioned a moment ago, both of the parties can continue to contribute to this conversation. So even though it was initiated as a voice and video conference, we can actually see that the mortgage advisor has since posted a few messages into this conversation while our customer was offline, mentioning to the customer perhaps there was something insufficient in their income documentation and asking them to provide maybe the previous year's W-2, whatever it happens to be, right? In the event that our customer does need to provide another document, he can simply drag and drop that into the conversation, and conversely, the agent will receive a notification that a new message has arrived in the conversation, okay? Finally, I'd also like to mention that if we scroll up a hair, we'll see that there's in fact a recording of the previous engagement also stored within the conversation. This is inclusive of any of the voice and video content that took place, as well as any collaboration features like co-browsing and document co-browsing and so on. This is a complete MP4 file that's potentially available to your customer as a convenience copy, but absolutely available to the financial institution for compliance or training purposes and so on. Okay? That concludes our demonstration. In summary, we showcased 3 key innovations. 1, the ability to compel your customers to act by providing them with key assistance at points in the customer journey. 2, we showed that Unblu has the flexibility to assist you in testing different journeys, ultimately to ensure that the way your customers move through those journeys is in a predictable fashion.
And 3, we showed you the ability to have persistent conversations with your clients that will help shorten the buying cycle. We found that embedding our application becomes part of your digital ecosystem. It not only decreases abandonment, but maximizes experience. We're more than just digital customer service. We drive digital revenue. Thank you so much. Please visit our booth, and we look forward to meeting you.